The Oklahoma City Thunder are one of the three worst teams in the league right now. I think we all know that. They're a team that's focused on building for the future right now, and obviously the Thunder are a team that's stacked with a crazy amount of talent, and a lot of the young guys have made major improvements, and some of the young guys have made taken step backs in their game. But as I said, they have a lot of young talent, and in today's video I just want to discuss their young talent and what their future is going to be looking like. But before we get into the video, I ask you to drop a like on this video as it does help my channel grow. Subscribe to my channel if you want daily NBA content. Also, if you want us to go over 3,000 subscribers, also drop a comment on this video as I do respond to all of my comments, and play that intro. I can't start this video off without talking about Shai GildersAlexander, who to me is their only young prospect who I am for sure is going to be an all-star player at his best, because he's already an all-star level player at his best right now, and he's not even in his 5th season. Shai is a guy who I think is for sure going to be a top 5 shooting guard in the league in the future. Honestly, I think Shai has superstar potential, top 10 player potential. He's already a pretty good scorer, solid passer, just really good all-around player, one of the most crafty guards in the league, a guy who could create his own shot on a really good level. He's also playing on this team which has terrible offensive talent around him, yet he's still able to score a lot of points on not terrible efficiency. So far this season, he's averaging 24 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists while shooting 45% from the field, which is not terrible. I think as his team gets better, we're going to really see Shai become one of the most efficient players in the league and just straight up better players in the league. As I said, I think he could be a top 10 player in this league, and I think he's the franchise cornerstone of this roster. They better not trade him, because I remember last offseason we were hearing some rumors about that. If the Thunder trade him, I have no hope for them. Next, I want to talk about Luguentz Dort, who is a guy who has been exceeding all the expectations people had for him. When he kind of had his little breakout in the bubble, most people thought this guy was just going to be one of the best defenders in the NBA, and they were just hoping that he could be somewhat respectable from 3. No one was thinking he could be a guy who can actually handle the ball, or hit threes that aren't wide open, or hit threes that aren't hitting difficult threes. But he's actually grown his game really fast in such little amount of time, to where he's not just one of the best defenders in the league. He is that. He's also a guy who's an above average offensive player, really strong and aggressive when it comes to driving at the rim, really solid. And now he's an above average 3-point shooter, a guy who can hit difficult ones when needed to. I don't know if Luguentz Dort is going to be a future all-star or anything like that, but I do think he's a guy who can be a little bit below that level, just be one of the best starters in the league, one of the best role players in the league. He kind of got injured for a lot of this season, but in the games he played, he averaged 17 points on not a good efficiency, because he shot 40% from the field. But on a team with more talent where he doesn't have to force as much, I would expect and hope him to be more efficient. Next, I want to talk about the guy who they drafted in this year's draft, in Shai Giddey. He's a guy who, when he was selected, everyone was roasting him. Everyone was saying that it was a dumb pick. But so far in his rookie year, he's actually been shutting up all of his haters. He's been one of the 5 best rookies in the class. He's already shown to be one of the most versatile point guards in the league and just best all-around games in the league. He's a guy who's not really efficient right now, but the fact that he's a triple-double threat, and the fact that he's averaging 12 points, nearly 8 rebounds, and 6 assists in just his rookie year shows that he's definitely going to be one of the better guards going in forward in the league. I don't know if he's going to be an all-star level player. It's kind of too early to tell, but I think he could be a top 10 point guard in the league, which at that point might be a top 10 player. I also want to talk about the other player they selected in this year's draft, in Trey Mann. I always thought he was a shooter because the skills he showed in college was just NBA level, and the skill he showed was already good enough to be a shot creator in this league. I don't know how good he is at the other aspects of the game, but I know he's a guy who could be a scorer, and scoring is what he's been able to do so far this season. He's been probably a top 10 rookie or so. Trey Mann is a guy who just shows a lot of star potential. I don't know about superstar potential, because as I said, he's not amazing at other aspects, but I do think he could be a guy kind of similar to the mold of a Jordan Clarkson or Jordan Poole, because he kind of fits that mold of a guard with like really good handles, really good shot, crazy confidence, the ability to hit difficult shots, the ability to create his own shot at a really good level. And everything he's going to be this team's second best scorer going forward. And I think that was just a really smart pick by OKC. So far in his rookie year, he's averaging like 10 points and he's doing on solid efficiency. Honestly, I'm really happy they selected him because I really think he can be nice. And I think he's the guy with top 3 potential on this team. To quickly talk about some of the other players on this team, we got Darius Bazley, who's kind of been disappointing this season. He hasn't really taken any big leaps. If anything, took somewhat of a step back. Honestly, I still have hope for him because of like what his skill set looks like. He's a tall forward who can handle the ball, apparently shoot the ball and defend. And like in spurts, he's shown he could be a really good player. We're just gonna have to see with him. Aaron Wiggins is definitely underrated and solid. He's had some really big games for them, and he's gonna be solid going into the future. Isaiah Roby is a guy who I think has a lot of potential as a stretch forward. Pokaskevsky has shown some potential, but right now he's really not good. Theo Maledon looks like a guy who could be a solid backup point guard going to the future. For being honest, this team just has a lot, and I mean a lot of underrated and low-key good young players. But it's possible that these guys are only looking good because they're on such a bad team. They get so much freedom and stuff like that. But regardless, they have still shown signs of being solid NBA players. They have a lot of young talent, and it's going to be interesting to see who they get rid of because they have like all of these like draft picks coming in, and obviously they can't keep anyone if they like have those draft picks. I was really surprised they got rid of Moses Brown, kind of random, but I thought he was a guy who looked like he could be a future like starter in the league, and now he's barely in the NBA. But regardless, the Thunder have some talent going forward. I just hope they can use it right. Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. Let me know whether or not you think the Thunder have a bright future. Drop a like on this video to help my channel grow. Subscribe to my channel if you want daily NBA content. Also, if you want to know over 3,000 subscribers, also drop a comment on this video as I do respond to all of my comments. And play that intro.